Rock on, rock on. My name is Ben Cool. I'm a sports analyst and the host of VC60. Today we're interviewing Trini, the gnarly sports anchor at NBC Sports. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you. I'm excited for conversations ahead. I appreciate your time. Been scheduled to join me.
I'm happy that you asked. I'm glad we finally got it on the calendar.
I have a few questions for you.
Great, let's shoot.
Tell me more about the Olympics and how it's different from reporting for the Red Sox and Patriots.
So it's a lot different. Obviously, when I'm in Boston, I only focus on Boston sports, which I would watch anyway, right? Like I last night I had, we're taping this on a Wednesday, and last night we had the Celtics in Game 2 against the Sixers. We had the Bruins playing the Sabres and the Red Sox playing the Yankees, and I was like, this is why I loved cable versus streaming. I could just click back and forth between every single game, right? And you're super familiar with the teams, so we follow them all year. We know the coaches, we know the players. With the Olympics, it's like you're covering all of these sports that really you kind of only pay attention to every 4 years. Um, I hosted a show for NBC Sports that was primarily curling. Um, but I had to do highlights of everything from figure skating to luge to snowboarding. We did a ton of cross country skiing and like biathlon stuff. We had some hockey games on our air, so I was working with hockey analysts. So it's just like all these new different sports, and like outside of hockey where a lot of the players were in the NHL, it's a lot of athletes that you're not always super familiar with, that you don't really know that well, and you don't know their stories. But when you work at that level, there's just so many people to help you. So we have like our crew just for that CNBC show that I hosted was probably 30 people strong, between everyone in the control room. And then just in the studio with me, I had a stage manager, a audio guy, two camera guys, a researcher, and a writer. And I think maybe even this third, I think there were seven of us plus me. And then you've got hair and you've got makeup and you have wardrobe and you have stylists, and you've all these little things that are part of it that is not the same at the local level. Like I do my own hair and makeup and pick out my own outfits. And we certainly don't have researchers. Google is our researcher.
Um, that's gnarly. And I would love to broadcast for the Charlotte Hornets and get them alive in the hive, bringing the energy. And do you have any advice for me how to keep that going?
I mean, I think my best advice is just to um, keep doing, like, now media is so wide open, right? Like anybody can have a YouTube channel, anyone can have a TikTok, an Instagram, and you can be a content creator. And I think that when you create content and you put things out there, sometimes just the right people see it. And if someone sees it and likes it, it's, kind of like maybe being an actor or an actress, like you get discovered. That I think is a little different. The other thing is just practice. Like, I'm really I'm pretty good friends with Jenny Kavnar, who is the television play-by-play voice for, well, I guess they were the Oakland Athletics, now they're like the Sacramento Athletics, and they're going to be the Vegas Athletics. But she started as a sideline reporter, but always wanted to do baseball play-by-play, and so she would play MLB The Show on like her, PlayStation with her husband, and her husband, who played minor league baseball, would have her like call the games. And then she would go to games and sit up on her days off and like record herself calling baseball games. My friend Leah Hextall did the same thing, like training themselves, even though it wasn't a job and even though it wasn't a big production. They honed that skill of play by play by going and just like working really hard and doing it by themselves, until somebody, found, heard them and realized that they were good enough to do it at a bigger level.
And also, thank you for the advice, and that was very helpful.
You're very welcome.
What would be your dream team assignment that you haven't done?
Oh, dream assignment that I haven't done. Oh, that's a really good question. I mean, it's great. I've gotten to do so many cool things. Um, I mean, I've covered World Series, I've covered Super Bowls. You know what I would love? I've done the Celtics parade when they won a couple of years ago, but I didn't really cover the NBA finals because we keep that to our Celtics group. And I've never been in Boston for a Stanley Cup. So those are two championships like I haven't been able to see. Actually, like I've seen teams win World Series. Seen teams win um Super Bowls, but I've never seen anyone win a Stanley Cup or win um an NBA championship like in person. So I would love to do that. But if I really had something, I'm learning how to golf and I've always really liked golf. I think covering a Masters would be awesome. I've covered a US Open before, a couple of US Opens. But the Masters is just like going to Augusta and being there and a part of it, and the tradition. And apparently, like the golf course is stunningly beautiful. That would be pretty cool. I don't know if it's ever going to happen because it's not really like in my wheelhouse of what I do right now. But I'd be happy just to attend any of those events and see it happen in person.
I see you doing that.
I would like to. I'm going to enter the lottery for the Masters for sure.
How has your personal experiences and challenges shaped you as a broadcaster, a person you are today?
Um, I mean, um I think especially because I'm someone who has been pretty open about like some mental health challenges with like depression and anxiety. Um, I think that's helped me when those stories come up in television, in sports, not in television, in sports. And with the athletes we cover, I think I have like a different perspective and a different understanding of what they're going through. I think it's made me probably more empathetic. Um, and I think as a female in the industry, I do think that like I approach my job a little differently than like a man does. I think, which is I think totally fine and totally normal. Not there's not one way that's better or the other. Um, but as someone who has had to really prove herself and keep her nose clean and work maybe harder and longer to kind of be respected in the same way that a male counterpart would, like I can really appreciate that from an athlete's perspective, of how hard and long people work to achieve a goal, and how difficult it can be.
I th- I think you're doing amazing.
Thanks. Be cool.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me for an interview. It was an absolute pleasure to speak with you, hear your insights, your stories. Respect you, I inspire. I'm grateful for the opportunity to learn from you.
Thank you for having me.
Come back again soon.
I would love to. Thank you.
Rock on, rock on. That's the end of my show. See you soon, everyone.